I just ranked the 7 most common frugal habits by how much they actually move the needle on your net worth. And the result is going to make a lot of people who think they're being smart with their money feel very uncomfortable. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I cut out coffee, I clip coupons, I don't eat out, and you still feel like you're not getting ahead, you're not imagining it. You're doing the work and the math still isn't working. Here's what nobody's telling you. Most frugal habits are just noise. They feel productive because they require sacrifice. But sacrifice and strategy are not the same thing. On commission income, where one slow month can erase 6 months of skip lattes, the wrong frugal habit doesn't just waste your effort. It gives you false confidence while the real leaks bleed you dry. I come from a long line of frugal men. My grandfather had me crushing aluminum cans for scrap money, and my dad could make a tank of gas last like it owed him money. For better or worse, I inherited the instinct. What I added was the part they never had, which is a financial structure underneath commission income with no ceiling. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which frugal habits are worth keeping, which ones are just noise, and which one sits at the top of the list that almost nobody talks about. So let's get into the ranking and find out where your habits actually land. Let's start at the bottom, because for all my fellow caffeine addicts, this one deserves to be here. Skipping the daily coffee is the most celebrated frugal habit in personal finance. It's also the laziest and most overrated one on this entire list. It gets talked about constantly because it's easy to visualize. Here's the math in plain terms. If you skip a $5 coffee every single day for a full year, you save $1,825. If the coffee genuinely makes your morning better, keep it. The mistake was never the $5 coffee. The root problem is spending on autopilot on a dozen things that don't move you while you punish yourself over the one small thing that does. Coffee is just a stand-in. For you, it might be a daily lunch or energy drinks at the gas station between appointments. Whatever it is, the rule is the same. Spend on what brings you real value and cut the stuff that doesn't. Hard. And here's the part an hourly worker doesn't get. You control your income. You can go close another deal. The answer isn't a smaller coffee. It's a bigger top line and a solid grasp on your priorities. Number 5, chasing cashback and digital deals. The modern version of clipping coupons is the cashback app, the browser extension that hunts for codes, and the card-linked offer. It's not worthless. The thing to watch is the time to dollar ratio. In commission sales, your time has a real dollar value tied to it. 15 seconds for a browser extension to auto-apply a code at checkout is free money. Fine, keep it. But turning deal hunting into a part-time hobby, driving across town to save $4, scrolling apps for an hour, that's a net loss. That hour was an appointment you didn't run. The verdict, low effort and automatic, keep it. Effort heavy and manual, drop it. The test is simple. Would you rather save $80 this month or make one more appointment? Your answer tells you where this belongs. Number 4, cooking at home instead of eating out. This one has real weight behind it, and it earns a higher ranking because the numbers are actually significant. Dining out is one of the top 3 spending categories for most commission earners that can get imbalanced pretty fast. And unlike the coffee habit, the gap between what you spend eating out and what you spend cooking at home is really serious money. The actual habit is having a plan for food so you're not reacting to hunger between appointments. Me personally, I love cooking. It's my creative outlet. During my time in roofing sales, I pack a cooler with a full day of meals and still barely have time to cram my face with food between calls. Here's the version for the guy who won't meal prep. Even swinging by the grocery store for a $5 pre-made meal or a rotisserie chicken beats the gas station in the drive-thru on both money and your body. The enemy isn't restaurants. It's the unplanned, frequent stops when you're starving and drained that add up fast. Most guys are spending $400 to $700 a month on food outside the home, sometimes more during busy season when convenience feels justified. There's also a behavioral layer here that matters on commission income specifically. Eating out is often a stress response. Big close, you celebrate. Slow week, you're too drained to cook. It's about letting your emotional state drive your grocery bill. That distinction is the whole ballgame. Canceling subscriptions. Now we're getting somewhere. I love a good subscription audit. This is the highest dollar, lowest effort win on here, but it lands at number 4 because most guys execute it wrong. I'll give you my own numbers. The last time my wife and I sat down and audited every recurring charge, we cut $1,800 a year. Not from one giant expense, from a stack of small ones we both stopped noticing. Most of you watching this are carrying more recurring charges than you realize. The streaming service nobody is watching, the app that auto-renewed, the trial that quietly converted. The problem is that most guys do this once, feel good about it, and never look again. Subscriptions creep back in. 6 months later, the same $200 in forgotten charges is sitting on the statement again. 20 minutes. Sit down and list out all the subscriptions, once or twice a year. That's the version that actually works. Hey, if this breakdown is landing for you, that's exactly what this channel is built around. Subscribe so you don't miss weekly videos on how commission earners can stop optimizing the wrong things and start building something that actually lasts. Now, let's get into the top 3, and this is where the real argument starts. Driving a paid off or modest vehicle. Here's where the list starts to get uncomfortable for some of you, because the truck is a sensitive topic in this industry. I'm not a truck guy, but I understand why. It's also one of the highest leverage financial decisions a commission earner makes, which is exactly why it earns the number 3 spot. The math on a vehicle payment at this income level is not trivial. An $800 a month truck payment is $9,600 a year. Add insurance, fuel, and maintenance on a newer model, and you're looking at a vehicle that costs you somewhere north of $15,000 to $18,000 annually. That's before you factor in what that money could be doing somewhere else. The version of this habit that works is simple. Drive something you own, or drive something whose payment doesn't require a strong month to justify. The version that doesn't work is the one where the truck is a proxy for identity and status, where the payment feels fine in October when you sign for it and terrifying in a slow February. You buy from a position of strength, not off the high of one big commission check. Building and protecting a cash reserve. This is the one. And I want to be clear about why it's number 1, because it's not just about saving money, it's about changing the sequence. Most frugal habit lists are about spending less. This one is about what you do with the money you don't spend. And on commission income, there is no habit more protective than having a real cash buffer. Here's what I've watched happen on repeat. A sales rep has a strong summer, feels disciplined, and ends September flush with cash. Then the fall arrives and deals slow down, and by January, he's making decisions from scarcity. A cash reserve protects more than your bank account. It protects your sales performance. When you know the slow months are covered, you sell differently. You're able to hold your price and walk away from the wrong customer. You prospect from confidence instead of desperation. The habit isn't cutting anything. It's choosing not to spend money that feels available but is already spoken for. The moment a commission check lands, a predetermined percentage leaves for a purpose before you've had a chance to spend it. It goes before the truck payment, before the groceries, before the dining out, before any of it. On commission income, this habit is structurally different from what it means for a salaried employee. A salaried person can automate this and forget it. You can't. Your income is irregular. A $35,000 a month followed by a $6,000 a month is not unusual, which means the discipline has to be intentional and it has to happen the same day the money arrives, not when you get around to it. That's the whole habit. Everything else on this list is a footnote compared to that one move. Hey Root Money Pros, if this ranking exposed something you've been doing wrong, that's the starting point. The next step is building the structure that makes paying yourself first automatic instead of a willpower exercise. Grab the free Feast or Famine Survival Guide at the link below. It's the foundation I built before any of the rest of this made sense. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe, because every video on this channel is built to help you stop leaving money on the table. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, keep stacking, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.